You know, social media is supposed to be a tool that helps us connect with others, stay informed, and share our experiences. But let's be honest, it can easily turn into a huge productivity killer and a mental health drain. We've all been there, scrolling mindlessly through our feeds, comparing our lives to others, and feeling like we're missing out. But the truth is, social media is designed to be addictive, and it's up to us to take control and break the cycle. When was the last time you caught yourself scrolling through social media without even realizing it? You intend to just check your notifications, but the next thing you know, you've wasted an hour watching cat videos or reading about some celebrity's drama. And the worst part is, it's not just a harmless distraction, it's actually affecting our mental health and productivity. Studies have shown that excessive social media use can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and depression. Not to mention, it's a huge time waster that could be better spent on things that truly matter. I think one of the main reasons we find ourselves mindlessly scrolling is because social media companies are using some pretty sneaky tactics to keep us hooked. They use algorithms to keep us engaged, and they're constantly coming up with new features to make their platforms more addictive. And let's be real, it's hard to resist the temptation of social validation. We all want to feel liked, loved, and appreciated. But the truth is, social media is not a reflection of our self-worth. We need to take a step back, assess our motivations, and make a conscious decision to break free from the cycle. Another reason we get sucked into social media is because it's just so easy to access. Our phones are always with us, and social media apps are always just a tap away. It's like having a slot machine in our pocket, always tempting us to take just one more spin. And before we know it, we've wasted an hour or more on something that's not even enjoyable. It's time to take responsibility for our actions and make some changes. 1. Identify triggers and set clear intentions. Social media addiction often starts unconsciously. You open an app intending to spend 5 minutes, and before you know it, an hour has slipped by. The key to stopping this time-wasting habit is to first recognize what triggers you to mindlessly scroll. Triggers can be boredom, stress, procrastination, or even the fear of missing out, FOMO. Understanding these cues will help you control them. So how do we break the cycle? The first step is to become more aware of our social media use. We can use apps like Freedom or Self-Control to track our time and set limits for ourselves. We can also identify our triggers, what makes us reach for our phones and start scrolling. Is it boredom, loneliness, or FOMO? Once we know what's driving our behavior, we can start working on alternatives. For example, instead of reaching for our phones when we're bored, we could pick up a book or go for a walk. You also need to set clear intentions for how you plan to use social media. For example, instead of scrolling aimlessly, decide beforehand if you are logging in to check updates, network, or learn something new. Intentions create focus, ensuring you don't get carried away. You can also track patterns. Are you more inclined to waste time on social media during specific hours, like early mornings or late nights? Once you pinpoint the issue, you can take targeted actions like keeping your phone away from the bed or using timers. A helpful approach is journaling your habits. Spend a week writing down each time you open an app and how long you spend on it. When you notice patterns, you can start to replace these moments with more productive activities. Meditation or a short walk, for instance, could fulfill the same need for relaxation without the distraction. 2. Use digital detox tools and app limits. Social media apps are designed to be addictive, and you need strong tools to fight back. Many apps now provide built-in time management features, such as Instagram's Your Activity Tracker or YouTube's reminders to take a break. However, these tools work only if you commit to using them honestly. One of the most effective techniques for reducing social media time is to create a schedule and stick to it. This means deciding in advance when and how long we'll use social media, and then sticking to those boundaries. It might be hard at first, but trust me, it's worth it. We can also start using social media with a specific purpose in mind, rather than just scrolling aimlessly. For example, we could use social media to connect with friends, stay informed about current events, or learn something new. You can take it a step further by using digital detox apps like Stay Focused, Forest, or Freedom. These apps allow you to block social media apps for specific time slots. For example, if you tend to waste time during your work hours, you can block access between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Some tools even penalize you for trying to override the limits, making it harder to cheat. The Pomodoro technique can also be combined with digital detox tools. Work uninterrupted for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. But make sure your breaks don't involve social media. Using a reward system like giving yourself social media access only after completing tasks can also build discipline over time. One unconventional but powerful tip is to gray out your phone. Switch your phone display to black and white mode to make the apps less visually attractive. This psychological trick can reduce your desire to open these apps repeatedly. 3. Replace mindless scrolling with productive habits. When people try to reduce social media usage, they often struggle with what to do with the extra time. To avoid falling back into old habits, you must actively fill that time with engaging and meaningful activities. This is where hobbies, fitness routines, and creative pursuits come in. Instead of scrolling for relaxation, you could engage in light reading, listen to podcasts, or practice mindfulness. Fitness activities like yoga, gym workouts, or morning jogs can also create a natural high that keeps you motivated. Hobbies like cooking, gardening, painting, or learning a new skill such as a language or coding can also keep your mind occupied productively. Another strategy is to designate specific times of the day for social media use. This way, we're not constantly checking our feeds throughout the day. We can also start substituting social media time with more fulfilling activities like exercise, meditation, or hobbies. And let's not forget about the importance of setting boundaries. We don't have to respond to every notification or comment immediately. We can set aside specific times to check our messages and respond to them in batches. One essential tip is to always keep alternatives easily accessible. For example, place a book or journal next to your bed so it's the first thing you reach for instead of your phone. If your goal is professional growth, platforms like LinkedIn or Coursera are better substitutes than Facebook or Instagram. Remember, it's not just about cutting social media usage, but redirecting your energy towards things that add value to your life. When you experience the satisfaction of progress, whether it's mastering a skill or getting fitter, you'll naturally feel less drawn towards mindless scrolling. 4. Create a social media schedule. Just like any other activity, social media should have its designated time slots. A well-planned schedule helps you stay in control. Decide specific times during the day when you are allowed to use social media, perhaps 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. Outside these windows, keep your phone out of reach. Scheduling works because it prevents social media from becoming a default activity. Without a schedule, every free moment feels like an excuse to open an app. When your usage is deliberate, it feels more intentional and less like a waste of time. You can also pre-plan what you want to do during those social media sessions, such as catching up with friends or checking updates from specific accounts. If you're worried about missing out on important updates, set notifications for essential things like messages or work-related alerts. Turn off unnecessary notifications that tempt you to check your phone frequently. Remember, most notifications are designed to trigger impulsive behavior, and reducing them helps you regain control. A practical way to enforce your schedule is to leave your phone in another room during focus periods. If possible, invest in an alarm clock to avoid using your phone as one. This small change ensures that your mornings and nights aren't wasted in endless scrolling. 5. Shift your mindset. Social media is a tool, not a necessity. One of the biggest mental shifts you need to make is to view social media as a tool, not an essential part of life. It is important to remind yourself that the curated world of social media isn't real life. The highlight reels and perfect images you see often make you feel inadequate, leading to a toxic comparison cycle that not only wastes time but also affects your mental health. You need to define what role social media plays in your life. Is it helping you grow personally or professionally? Or is it merely an escape from boredom? Once you have clarity, you can decide how much time it truly deserves. If the purpose is networking, you can focus on LinkedIn or Twitter for meaningful connections. If it's entertainment, set specific days or time slots for it, rather than mindlessly checking it throughout the day. Many people have successfully shifted their mindset by undergoing a social media fast where they stay away from all platforms for a few days or weeks. This detox helps reset your relationship with these apps. You'll notice how much mental space opens up when you're not constantly connected. You can also practice gratitude journaling to focus on your real-life achievements and relationships, which are far more fulfilling than virtual validation. The key is to cultivate mindfulness. Whenever you feel the urge to open an app, pause and ask yourself, is this the best use of my time? Over time, you'll find yourself naturally using social media less and focusing more on activities that truly matter. Conclusion. Social media can be a fun way to pass the time, but when left unchecked, it can become a major source of time wasting and negatively impact both productivity and mental well-being. Breaking free from this habit can be challenging, but with the right strategies, it is possible. The 5 steps discussed: identifying triggers and setting intentions, using digital detox tools, adopting productive habits, creating a social media schedule, and shifting your mindset can guide you toward regaining control over your time. The first step is understanding why and when you tend to use social media mindlessly. Setting clear intentions ensures that every interaction with these platforms is deliberate. Using digital tools like app blockers and time limits can further help you resist the temptation to scroll. At the same time, replacing mindless scrolling with productive activities like exercising, reading, or learning new skills ensures that your free time is spent meaningfully, reducing the urge to return to social media. Creating a schedule for social media usage is another powerful technique for managing time and avoiding distractions. By designating specific time slots, you maintain control over your interactions rather than letting apps dictate your day. Ultimately, the most important step is to shift your perspective. View social media as a tool, not a necessity. This mental shift will help you understand that virtual connections and curated feeds are not substitutes for real-life achievements, relationships, and personal growth. Above all, patience is key. Changing ingrained habits takes time, but with consistent effort, you will notice improvements. As you develop healthier routines and use social media more mindfully, you'll find more peace, productivity, and fulfillment in your daily life. Over time, you'll realize that your real-world relationships, achievements, and growth are far more meaningful than anything a social media feed can offer. Thanks for watching, guys. If you struggled with social media addiction or have any tips to share, please let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about productivity and self-improvement, check out my video on how to create a morning routine that will boost your productivity. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.